Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Sarah from Who I Am Among the Pages, and if you're new here, thanks for stopping by, and if you're not, thanks for sticking around. So first of all, Happy New Year. It is finally 2021. I just exercised for like the first time in a year, so I am feeling it. But it is finally 2021, so let's just hope that everything goes just even a little bit more smoothly than 2020, and we will be in a much better place. I do want to apologize for my wet hair. I did just get out of the shower and realized that my hair dryer is 3.5 hours away in my college town. So yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with it. But today it is a new year. I did set my Goodreads reading goal for the year, and I got through 28 books in 2020. So I'm playing it safe, not gonna push myself to read to have to meet a specific like book count, because I feel like that's just going to feel like an assignment then, and I'm already a student. If I didn't have the assignment portion and required reading, then I would say, get through 40-50 books, but for now 30 books is the goal. I believe you can adjust it, so if it looks like I'm going to be able to beat that in like no time at all, fine. But for now, my goal for this year is 30 books. I think that's very reasonable. And that also gives myself some leeway because, again, I am a student, so with exams and just the natural process that you go through at college, I feel like that's a very reasonable goal. So today, though, we are getting into my January 2020 TBR. 2021. Oh, it feels so good to say that. But I am getting into my TBR, and I do have ambitious TBRs because I like to be able to think like, oh, when I get through this book, I can read this. When I get through this book, I get to read this. And I do want to try to get a jump start on my goal, just in case I do end up slacking. Because I am on break right now. I'm on break for like 20 more days. So yeah, I would like to go ahead and try to get the ball rolling. So first off, for the first book of 2021 is a book that was on my TBR last month, if you watched that video, and that is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. It takes place in 1872 London and follows a protagonist that has done some stuff. She is not an angel by any stretch of the imagination, but she has just come to America from Paris, and she is living in New Orleans. And things start happening. Girls start going missing, and I'm 56 pages into the book, and a girl has had her throat ripped out on the docks near this convent where she's living. I think I'm really gonna like this book. I'm dying to get back into it after I finish this. So the next book then is one that was also on my TBR for last month, but that is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is a reread for me. I read this, I don't know, I was probably a sophomore in high school, so it has been a little bit. I am a junior in college now. I loved it. I loved it even more than I loved A Court of Thorns and Roses, and that was a 5-star read for me. So I am looking forward to getting into this book, and I'm not really sure how to describe it because I'm so afraid of ruining books for somebody. And this is a sequel, so I'm not going to go very far into it. But I am planning on keeping up my goal of reading 100 pages a day. So this, even though it's a big book, should take about 5 to 6 days to get through. Fingers crossed. I am looking forward to reading that, though. After that, we have Rebel Rose by Emma Theriault. If anybody does know how to say that, please let me know. I'm not very good with French words and French names. I took Latin, so yeah. Anyway, this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, like the A Court of Thorns and Roses series is. And if you don't know, I am completely and utterly in love with everything Beauty and the Beast, and I will read anything if you market it to me that way. But this takes place in, I can't remember the year, 1789. France is on the brink of revolution, and Belle has recently broken the spell on the castle, on the Beast. The Beast is human again. And she's realizing that although the revolution is brewing in other parts of the country, it's also brewing in her own castle. And after finding a magic mirror that gives her a rather dire warning about her life, I imagine he's referred to as Prince Adam in here. Prince Adam and all the members of her castle and her country, she has to figure out what to do about this because she is now a ruler, whether or not she likes it and whether or not other people like it. So this is the first book, I believe, in a series that is placing the Disney princesses in situations that are more historically accurate that they would have dealt with, like after the happily ever after. And I'm really excited for this. I love historical fiction anyway, and it's Beauty and the Beast. This is also part of the series The Queen's Council, and I believe there's going to be a story following each of the Disney princesses. So, and they're all bound together by this Queen's Council, which I have a feeling is going to be either a magic system or something else very important in the story. So that's the third book for the month. Fourth book, and this realistically, these four are probably all I'm going to get through. So this is the last one that I'm realistically going to get through, and that is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. And this follows a main character, Elizabeth, who has grown up in a magical library. She's known that sorcerers are evil, and part of her job is to basically keep these grimoires, these books of shadows, there's multiple names for them, but to keep these magic books under control. Eventually there is an act of sabotage that releases some of the library's most potent magic, and she ends up having to work with a sorcerer to get it under control. And if you can't tell, I'm cheating off the back because I cannot remember all these little blurbs. But this is, I think, is going to be really good. I don't remember last time I read a book that took place in a library, so that's pretty exciting. And I don't know, it just sounds right up my alley, and I love the cover on this. It's so beautifully foiled, and the illustration, I love a good illustrated cover. Like Bonecryer's Moon was one of my favorite book covers of all time, and I just love the illustration on this. And even the back is just gorgeous. So this was partially a cover buy for me, but I am looking forward to it. So if I don't get through this month, I am definitely reading it this next month because I have been looking forward to this book for months now. And that is Majesty by American Royals. Oh, I did not mean to flip the camera off. I am so sorry. But that's Majesty by Catherine McGee. It's the second book in the American Royals. I think it's going to be a series, but I'm not entirely sure. I did get the first book, American Royals, like a week after it came out, and didn't read it until April, I think, of this year, and I just loved it. If you don't know, the American Royals series follows the premise that when George Washington was offered the crown at the end of the American Revolution, he accepted rather than denied. So the first book follows multiple perspectives of both the royal children in the modern day, so the one that's going to become queen, and then her two younger siblings, who both have very complex lives in their own right, along with several people that are very close to the royal family, and definitely influence the politics and the drama around the royal family. It has a very heartbreaking, the first book has a very sad ending to it. Well, it's sad, but I don't want to spoil it. It's a good ending, but it is sad. So I am looking forward to seeing how this book picks up. Because I'm not really sure. Like, there's an obvious plot line that she can follow, but I don't know if she's going to do that. So I'm really excited for this. And if I don't I'm really hoping to get to this book this month, but if I don't, this is my first read for February, regardless of anything. So my last book this month, I'm not really that bothered about getting to. I definitely want to read it at some point this year because I know there are other books by this author I am curious about, but that is Roseblood by A.G. Howard. There's a lot of retellings on my TBR this month, but this is a Phantom of the Opera inspired retelling, and I believe that the first video I ever did on this channel was, not the first video, the first book rant I ever did was on Phantom of the Opera. So this will be kind of nice to come like full circle and do a book rant on this, if I may. If I don't get to it this month, I will definitely get to it next month. I've had this book for quite a while. It's gone back and forth with me a couple times. It's definitely not in the best shape, but it follows Rune Germain, whose voice has been compared to that of an angel. So I believe Rune is going to be the Christine Daae equivalent. So I'm curious about who's going to be the Phantom, whether she's going to be her own Phantom, because we see here that she has the mask on. So I'm super curious about who's the Phantom, what's the dynamic here, because the most compelling part of Phantom of the Opera is the relationship between Christine and I don't think we ever get his name, but the Phantom. If you don't know the story of the Phantom of the Opera, I can't imagine liking this, but I love, love, love it. I love the book. I have seen I think it's the 2004. I think that's when that was made. 2004 movie with Gerard Butler and, oh, what's her name? Emmy Rossum as Christine Daae. Gerard Butler was the Phantom. So the Phantom of the Opera is one of my favorite classic stories of all time, and I am looking forward to seeing a retelling of this, because I don't think I've ever come across another retelling of Phantom of the Opera. It's definitely a very unique concept, so I have to give it at least 1 star just for the uniqueness. But I'm really hoping I like it and it is entertaining like I think it's going to be. So that pretty much sums up the books that I am hoping to get through this month. Realistically, I'll probably only get through the first 4 up to A Sorcery of Thorns. I think that's what that was called. Why can't I remember? Yes, it was. So realistically, I'll probably only get through those 4, but I am hoping to get through the other 2. Rebel Rose is pretty short, so I think that's going to save me. And I hope you guys like my color changing light down there. So cute. But yeah, a couple of announcements. My upload schedule for YouTube will be pretty much every day until I go back to school. And I believe I head back to school on the 21st. I'll get you guys an exact date here before too long. But I do begin classes again on the 21st. And after that, my schedule will probably be either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Probably Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I believe, I have to look at my class schedule. I believe I signed up for very full days, Tuesday and Thursday, plus work. So yeah, I'm hoping to be able to film like on the weekends and then upload 3 times a week for you guys. My Wattpad will also be beginning to update. That will be updated every Tuesday and Friday. My first goal is to finish number 9. I know I've said that 1,000 times, but you learn to have a little bit more discipline after a while. So that is the goal, is first of all to finish number 9 and then move on to what happens after. So those are my Goodreads, my Wattpad goals, and if you're curious, that is always linked down below along with my Goodreads in case you want to keep up with what I'm reading. But yeah, I'm trying to see, I can't read where I put my notebook. I think that's all the announcements I had. Yep. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I hope you decide to stick around if you don't normally. I enjoy making these videos and would love to make some friends on here. So yeah, talk to you guys later.